agenda in front of me, so my status as interim chair is compromised.
Let's first open the meeting.
Okay. So I'd like to open the meeting. This is our meeting of Tuesday, February 8th. Do we have a quorum? Do we have? Yes, we do. We have 4, right? Okay, yes. So we are able to conduct a meeting. I'd like to open the meeting at 6:02 on Tuesday, February 8th. We have a short agenda. Our first item on the agenda is a public hearing. And again, I'm sorry, Victoria, can you just read the address and the short description of the item, including, the tax ID number and whatever else information is relevant here before we open the public hearing?
It's a public hearing on 7274 Green Street, tax ID 110.54-1-16 and -1-17. It's a subdivision application to merge 2 properties together.
Okay, can I get a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Thank you, John. Do I have a second?
Jane.
I said.
John and Jean.
Great, we got 2 seconds. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Valerie?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, so unanimous. Great. Okay, so let's open the public hearing. If so, a member of the public has a question about the project, is the applicant with us this evening? Who's representing the applicant?
I see Nick Bennett.
Do we have the applicant here?
Yeah, I am. It was put on by my contractor, Carol Lent, but yeah, Nick Bennett. I am property owner and here.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Nick. Nick, do you have any additional information or comments to share with the board before we take comments and questions from the public?
No, just some background on it. We've had the property for 3-4 odd years. It was deemed unsafe before we purchased it. It was two family units, although it was really only ever set up for 3 apartments. One of them was an office, never had a kitchen, never had a bathroom. The idea is to bring the 2 lower levels together for a primary residence for myself and my wife, and still maintaining the apartments upstairs for renting. So the idea is to bring it all together. As I say, we've had the property for 3-4 years now. So that's, yeah.
Okay, and you plan on living in the lower level, is that what I just heard?
Correct.
Okay, wonderful. Yep. Board, do you have any questions for Nick before we open it to the public?
No.
Okay, if a member of the public wishes to speak, go ahead and use the little hand function, which I don't see. No public questions or comments. Okay, Victoria, what ordinarily in the situation, do we give the thing a few minutes in case folks need to weigh in, or?
Well, let's just check. Miss Pina, can you confirm that the public hearing notice was published?
It was.
Okay. So in that case, we can close the hearing.
Okay, last call. Does anyone from the public wish to come? I have to raise my light level somehow. I'm sitting in the dark over here. Okay, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So we have.
Jean, thank you. Second?
I second.
Thank you, Valerie. All in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Great, thank you. Okay, wonderful. Victoria, oh, there you go. You prepared a resolution for us. Victoria, since I'm in a compromised situation here, do you mind reading that aloud for us?
I'll go through it. So it says, whereas the applicants Nick Bennett and Julia Black have applied for subdivision approval to combine two existing lots of 0.2 acres each located at 7274 Green Street. And then it identifies it into a single 0.4 acre lot. The project depicted on a site plan entitled Green Street Residence prepared by Taconic Engineering. Whereas pursuant to zone, I went too fast. Pursuant to zoning law 325-35.1E, the planning board is to determine whether any proposed minor subdivision shall undergo subdivision review. And whereas despite the provisions in the city code, the county requires subdivision approval to remove or alter lot lines for existing lots. And whereas a duly noticed public hearing was held on February 8th, 2022, during which all who wish to speak were heard. And whereas said public hearing was held remotely pursuant to Chapter 1 of the laws of 22 of the state of New York. That's the one that allows this virtual meeting. Whereas a lot line alteration where no new lots are created is a type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. Now therefore be it resolved, the planning board hereby grants subdivision approval to the project as shown on the site plan, which was defined up above, and authorizes the chairperson, that should say her, or her authorized designee to sign a subdivision plat after compliance with the following conditions. 1, payment of all fees in escrow. 2, revision of the site plan to be titled a subdivision plat and to include a signature block for the chair. That's one of the requirements when they go to file in the county. It's going to have to, be called a subdivision plat. And then 3, approval by the attorney to the planning board of a merger deed combining the two lots and an undertaking from the applicant's attorney promising to record the deed in the office of the Columbia County Clerk. So basically, right now there's 2 lots. Once you approve it being combined, we just need a deed smushing the lot together so that they can't be separately sold after that.
Okay,
That's it.
great. Board, do we have any comments or discussion that we need to have over the resolution prior to taking a vote on the resolution? Okay, this seems like it's a very non-controversial matter. So all in favor of adopting the resolution?
Aye.
Aye.
We
Valerie?
need a motion in a second.
That's
Sorry.
right.
Oh, sorry.
I'll move that we introduce it. Yep.
Is that John?
Yep.
A second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Jean,
Jean, thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. Now, is Nick still with us? Nick, you're going to need to go to Taconic and give them the stipulations required for the change to the drawing. Right, did you catch that? It needs to call it the subdivision plat. You need a space for the chair's seal and signature. And what was the third thing, Victoria?
A deed to
Okay.
combine the two lots.
All right, so you're gonna have to do those things before Teresa can actually stamp and sign the drawings. Ordinarily, there's a quick turnaround on that, but in this case, you got to make sure that you do those things. Otherwise, it's gonna slip into limbo.
Okay, okay. Is there, Carol couldn't actually log in. Is there, if I speak to Carol, would she know someone to actually get those stipulations and then bring that back in? Or should I be?
We will send you, Lisa Pina will send you a copy of the resolution that was just approved.
Perfect. Okay, excellent. Thank you. And thank you both.
Great. Okay, board, that was wonderful. Public hearing in 10 minutes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The second item on the agenda is a proposed hotel by the Galvin Foundation at the corner of Warren and 4th Streets. Victoria, our action here is to declare the type of action and whether we are the lead agency. Is that my understanding?
Correct. The applicants came to the last meeting and made a presentation about the property. There were some project changes and requests for additional information, but the board did agree to get the seeker circulation process started this month. So we have a resolution prepared classifying the action as unlisted and referring it to involved and interested agencies. I know the applicants here. I don't know if they want to say something before we do that, and then I'll pull up the resolution.
Thank you, Victoria. Good evening, everyone. You caught me off guard on how quickly the first matter went. But I'm here. We are pulling together all the environmental studies and we plan on submitting that for the March meeting. And so, we can assist in any way in getting the secret coordination out so that we can get any outside agency comments back. And if we get those, we will respond to those as well for the March meeting. That's our internal schedule. And if you have any questions tonight, let us know.
Or do we have any questions for the applicant? Does everyone remember this particular, I'm trying to find a light switch here. Does anyone on the board have any questions about the project? You all recall the specifics of this project? Okay, fiat lux. Okay, no questions from the board? Okay, then. Victoria, why don't you share the resolution with us?
I will do that right now. Okay, so I'll go through it again. So resolution classifying the action as an unlisted seeker action and declaring intent to serve as lead agency. So again, this action does not commit the board to any particular outcome. It's the first step in the process that says we want to be responsible for the environmental review of this application. Whereas the applicant, Galvin Initiatives Foundation.
You know what, Victoria, I want you to stop.
Sure.
I know that I'm rushing things and Valerie, I know that you're new on our board and the seeker process can be a little bit confusing. So there's basically 3 kinds of actions and we have to declare the kind of action that we're going under the state's environmental review. There's type 1, type 2, and unlisted. And there are certain things that we as a board can and cannot do once we declare a kind of action. And then once we do that, there's typically, if there's multiple agencies that need to review the project, one of them becomes the so-called lead agency. That can be contentious. However, in this case, I don't think that would be contentious. Do you, Valerie, would you like Victoria to give any kind of overview at all on the various kinds of actions and what the implications are? Or have you already taken some training in seeker and?
No, because I haven't started that yet. So, I am conscious that we're short on time, but if it can be a brief.
Yeah, I think it's a very simple. Yeah.
I can.
You mind,
I'll give a
Victoria?
quick overview. So the State Environmental Quality Review Act is a law that requires every state agency or body thereof to consider the impacts of its decisions on the environment. So before the Common Council takes an action, it needs to decide whether it's going to have an environmental impact. And before the planning board can approve any project, it has to decide the environmental impacts of that project. And environment is defined very broadly in the code. It includes traditional environmental items like air, water, pollution, but it also includes historic resources, community character. Sometimes that winds up looking at fiscal impacts on community resources. So it's an opportunity for the board to take a review at the potential impacts that could happen from this project. And this review happens in conjunction with your review of the project under the standards in the zoning law. So the zoning law typically has standards that say, you can grant a site plan if it won't cause traffic problems or won't be a detriment to the neighborhood. There's certain criteria. This is in addition to that criteria. It's sort of like an overlay. So you get to look at both. And the seeker rules allow for different procedures. They have a list of actions called type 1 actions. And type 1 actions are bigger type projects that are more likely to have environmental impacts. So for instance, if we were looking at, I think, non-commercial space of 25,000 square feet or more, I think that's on the type 1 list, but it's clear. You look at the list and there's itemized thresholds. There's also something called the type 2 list. And those actions, the state has determined, they're not serious. They're not going to have an environmental impact. So for instance, a single family home. Building a single family home or a 2-family home does not trigger this whole environmental review because the state has deemed it to not have an environmental impact. So there's a big gray area of projects that are not included on the type 1 list, but they're also not included on the type 2 list. And if a project doesn't fall within either of those categories, it's called unlisted. And when there's an unlisted action, the board still has to undertake an environmental review. There's a little more flexibility. It doesn't have to coordinate the review, which means that it can do, this planning board could do a review on its own and not reach out to any state agencies or county agencies. We recommend that we do coordinated review nonetheless, because it's an opportunity for this board to send the project around to other agencies that also have to approve it. So for instance, here, the Department of Health is going to have to weigh in. And it's an historic district, so we're going to send it to SHPO. And then the agencies will send this board back their comments, and that will help you deliberate and decide on the project. So tonight we have a resolution prepared to classify the project as unlisted because, you know, when I looked at the type 1 list and type 2 list, it didn't fall squarely within any of those thresholds. At least that's how I reviewed it. And then to declare lead agency, which is a declaration that this board, the Hudson Planning Board, wants to take responsibility for the environmental review. And then we send notice to everyone else saying, no, we want to be responsible. Send us, ooh, I just hit my phone. Send us your comments. And that's what this resolution would authorize tonight.
Great. That was a wonderful overview.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, do you want to pull it back up again now?
All up here.
I know you did a great job.
Okay, so we have a resolution tonight. Oh, hold on. Can I just leave this up for 1 second? I have to let someone, hold on 1 second. Oh, hold on. Share screen. I'm going to let you read it for a moment. I'm sorry, we don't have heat in the repair guys here, so I had to let them in.
Before you start, fifth line down, it indicates 549 Washington Street is the address.
1, 2, oh, thank you.
Yeah,
That's the pocketbook factory.
that is.
That's a copy paste error.
It is. No, I think I told you that we pulled this together today. This is
It's
in the
okay.
general.
Keeping it legal.
Yeah,
No chair, barely
I
a
appreciate it.
quorum.
Central Commercial District. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
The property. Okay, so that, so the first whereas clause talks about the address and what they're proposing to do, which is a 30-room hotel with accessory amenities, accessory restaurant and dining area, and commercial retail space. It's shown on a site plan submission set, and I included the pages and the dates. I'm noting the project also will require subdivision approval because they're going to be combining the lots, and the applicant will have to submit an application for that. They submitted a full environmental assessment form dated November 29th, 2021. This board is required to determine the classification of the project, and it does not appear on the type 1 or type 2 list. So now therefore be it resolved that the planning board hereby 1, classifies the project as an unlisted action under SECRA, and 2, declares its intent to serve as lead agency in a coordinated review of the project under SECRA and directs its secretary to circulate notice of its intent to all other involved and interested agencies. And the agencies I've identified for this project are OPRPH, Columbia County Health Department, Hudson Department of Public Works, the Historic Preservation Commission, and the Fire Department.
Victoria, if I just may add one agency to that list.
Who's, yeah,
So it'd be the City of Hudson Industrial Development Agency.
okay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't see who said that. Who said that?
This is
Charles Gottlieb said it. He's
Got
the
it,
attorney
okay.
for Galvin.
Mhm.
Okay, I've added them in.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
John, thank you. Do we have a second?
Okay.
Jean, thank you. Any comments or questions from the board as we evaluate this resolution? Any discussion necessary?
No question.
Okay, I think pardon, Valerie, sorry.
No, I was saying no questions yet.
Oh, great, thank you. I'm sure that will come up once we get into the public hearing part of this thing, which we probably aren't discussing yet. All right, all in favor of approving the resolution?
Aye.
Aye.
John?
Aye.
So it's unanimous, right? Okay, great. So Victoria, can you just talk us through our next steps? So we're going to send out notice to the other agencies.
So we have a cover letter that we're gonna prepare. It's a notice that goes to every agency and it lets them check, yes, we consent, or no, we don't consent to you being lead agency, and they return it to the board. And that goes along with a package that we're gonna ask the applicant to put together. So the package
Okay.
is gonna include the EAF that they've submitted and their site plans.
Okay,
So, we'll coordinate tomorrow on how best to get this package out.
okay,
And then I send it out.
Yeah, normally you would send it out.
Okay. So I'll coordinate with you, Dan and Charlie? Yes?
Yeah, I
The
will.
four of us will figure this out tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll get the city whatever you guys need, and we'll make it as easy as possible for everyone.
great.
Yeah, we to make it easy, we usually ask that you package them in an envelope with addresses and, stamped already. So Lisa can just, check that everything's in there and send them out.
Yep, not a problem. I'll coordinate tomorrow.
and then
Thank you.
Victoria, when do we determine whether we wish to have a public hearing? Or whether one is required and all that?
So the applicant's planning on making a new submission, an updated submission. And so after we receive those updates, I think the board will be in a position to decide whether you're ready for a public hearing.
Okay, okay. Great. Anything else then on the latest Galvin project? No?
No.
All good? Okay, great. The next item on our agenda is,
Thank you, everyone.
thank you, Dan, thank you,
Thanks,
Charlie.
guys.
The next item on our agenda is a resolution concerning the escrow on the pocketbook factory. Is that correct? Oh, there it is. Yes, that is correct.
It is. Teresa had asked me to add this to the agenda. We're still sorting out how escrow works in the city, and I'll let her speak to that. But basically, this is a resolution requiring that the applicant replenish their escrow account. The applicant received conditional approval, but it was subject to 6 conditions of approval, which have not yet been satisfied.
Mhm.
And there are outstanding bills. So it says, now therefore be it resolved that the planning board hereby requires that the applicant replenish its escrow account by depositing $5,000 with the treasurer of the city of Hudson to be held in escrow to be dispersed to pay consultant costs when they come due.
And that's that. Assuming that the bills are less than the 5,000, that money is then returned to the applicant, right? Is that understood?
At the end, it will be returned, but there's still some work to, here, I'm just gonna stop sharing this. There's still some work to do on this project. They have to submit a sound study, and they had to submit like a sound mitigation study and some other things that will need to be reviewed when they do submit it.
Okay. All right, any comments or questions about the resolution? Any discussion we want to have about the resolution? Valerie, this precedes you. So this is a hotel project that is on, what is it, on 6th and Washington? Is that, I think that's where it is.
The old pocketbook
549
factory.
Washington Street.
Yeah, yeah,
Pocketbook factory.
yeah. It's an
My
old,
copy paste error.
yeah, it's a beautiful old brick building that is going to be a mixed use, primarily hotel project. And we approved it previously, but there's a little, outstanding issues around the project. So this resolution addresses one of the most pressing of those issues, which is that our consultants who we bring in to review the projects probably have bills larger than the remaining balance in the escrow account. All right, do we have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
John, thank you. Jean,
Second.
second, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. Wonderful. That's great. Any other agenda items? We do have bills apparently, but they are not ready for review yet. I also think that we have minutes that are coming, but we don't have them to review and approve tonight. Is that?
The minutes from last month, from November, should be approved tonight if that is going to happen. And I do have the bills here.
Can we wait on on both the bills and the minutes until we have our
The next
missing
meeting.
board members? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Is that, Victoria, are we allowed to do that?
I mean, you can. I think that
Oh.
means you don't get paid though for a month.
Oh.
Oh, these bills that I have are from Alta.
Mhm.
That's it.
Well, I
Oh.
mean, right, it's not personal to me, but Alta.
Yeah, no, I think we should actually, Lisa, can you share them on the screen? Is there a way that you can, I don't have them.
I don't have the actual invoices. I have the invoice numbers. I could read it.
But
and
do you
tell you
have
the
the,
amount?
do you have the dollar amounts or
I do.
description?
I
Oh, you
do.
do? Oh,
Yeah,
then,
I have the
oh,
invoice number, the date, and the dollar amounts, and they're all related to one project, Pocketbook
Right.
Factory.
right.
And if you'd like me to read it, I can.
Board, are you okay with this? I mean, I would prefer that our consultants are paid in a timely manner. It's slightly unconventional, but I like Victoria's point that, we ask these people to do work for us and we should pay them properly. Are we okay?
Yeah, I agree with
I'm
it.
okay with it.
Typically, when are they paid?
Sorry, Valerie.
Okay.
Well, we typically get them, we review them in the end of the meeting, and then we approve them, and then they're processed to the city. So,
Okay.
so I think we should do this. So, yeah, Lisa, can you read the,
Okay,
Invoice amount.
so the three invoices that I'm going to read for approval are all related to 549 Washington Street, Pocketbook Factory. That's why we're replenishing escrow 2. First invoice is 0020211461 dated September 8th, 2021 in the amount of $3,896.76, and that's from Alta.
okay,
The second one is invoice 0020211462 dated October 20th, 2021 in the amount of $1,886, again for Alta. And the third and final is invoice number 0020211463 dated December 13th for $286.50, again from Alta.
all right, so one of them is for around 3,900, the second one is just for around 1,900, and the last one is for around $200. Is that correct? Yeah, and then,
About 4,000, 2,000, and 300.
okay, okay. And the total of those invoices, if we do have the $5,000 replenishment, the escrow, is there enough to cover this, or are we?
There's currently, they have about 2,600 in escrow.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. So board, any discussion about the invoice or questions about the invoices?
The total for these invoices were 6,069 and 26 cents.
Okay. Board, any comments or questions?
No,
No,
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the invoices that we just heard about for Alta regarding the pocketbook factory? Jean, thank you. You have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Valerie. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye, so it's unanimous. Great. Do we have any other agenda items for our meeting this evening?
The-
Committee
the-
reports.
Committee reports. We don't have an IDA report because our IDA rep is not here. John, are you still going to? No, you were the IDA
No.
person. No.
I signed on for like a year and a half and
Okay, okay,
and I
okay.
bailed in December.
Got it. And HDCA, that's Teresa, right? Is that?
Yeah,
Teresa,
they're both
yes.
Teresa. They
They're
should. be.
both Teresa.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we don't have any committee reports.
And then the last thing was update on planning board training hours for 2021. That was the last item.
Yeah, we have to make sure that we've done our 4 hours, and if we have not done them, we need to do them before your next review, reappointment session would happen. So get on that if you have not done that. Valerie, just so you know, that each of us has to do 4 hours annually for training.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else from the board? All right.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, and we have a second?
I second.
Okay, Valerie, thank you. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, okay. The fastest planning board in the history of planning board. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. I got
Okay.
6 minutes left.
Amazing.
Okay, take care. You have a
Thank
good night.
you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.